Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we're going to be taking a look at the U3 wireless microphone system from Xvive. Let's check it out. If you recall, not too long ago, I did a review of the Xvive U2 wireless guitar system. And that's such a solid system that everybody in my band actually ended up buying a set, and we have a backup set just in case. In fact, we did a show just 3 or 4 days ago using those wireless units from Xvive on a single charge, and we had no issues at all. We didn't have any cross interference between them or anything like that. It actually came off really, really well. It sounded great. We were in a small room, but still, it was nice to not have cables to trip over all over the place. So that was really handy, and it's a great system. Now, wireless mics are a different story altogether. And if you came up like I did, I started playing professionally in the 90s. And back then, if you wanted to go wireless with your mic, you had to buy a Samsung microphone system that had like a box that sat over by the mixing board, and it had antennas on it. And, it was cost you a couple of $1,000s to get the microphones in there. In fact, we do use some of those in some of our stage shows as well. But getting them into the studio is another story, and it's a little bit tricky using microphone wireless systems in a studio. Some people are really purists and they prefer to use cables. Other people try to reduce the amount of cable mess there is that they have to trip over. Excuse me, and that's been really one of my issues. I'm in a very small space, so working in this kind of confined space and doing these reviews and these podcasts and that there's not a lot of room. So when I'm running 6 or 10 foot cables everywhere, it gets to be a little bit chaotic, and I'm changing rooms because I've only got the one computer that I work with. So when Xvive reached out and said, hey, we liked your video on the guitar system, would you like to check out our U3 microphone system? I said, absolutely. If it works with a condenser mic, like the one I've got here in the studio, I'm all for it. So they sent it over, and they do have two versions, and this one is specific to the condenser mic. So I'm using my TZ Audio. You'll see there's a little microphone here. This is actually the lapel mic I was testing before, and I use this simultaneously for various reasons. But this isn't connected to anything. So the only microphone you're hearing right now is the TZ Audio condenser mic that you see here. And right now it is plugged in with an XLR cable, and we're going to swap this the wireless unit in very shortly. So let's take a look at what you get. You'll see the box is a little beat up. That's my fault because I keep taking it in and out. But this is the box it comes in. It's a two-piece wireless unit, of course, transmitter and receiver. Pull this open, and there is the packaging. They're fairly substantially sized, but they're meant to go a fair distance, and they're meant to really, really deliver all of the sonic value that you're getting out of your microphone. Now, I've been playing with these a little bit in the studio. I've recorded a couple of voiceovers using these in place of the XLR, and it's really handy. They are rechargeable, of course. Wouldn't be much point in having a wireless unit that wasn't battery operated in some way, but this is the size of the which one is this? The receiver. This is the size of the receiver. And they're not tiny. There's the transmitter, and it's got a little bit antenna attached to the bottom. So side by side, you can see the difference. Okay. So the transmitter goes into the microphone itself. The receiver in here, I'm going to put it into my interface, and it's going to go straight into Reaper. And we're going to do a little sound comparison and see how that comes off. There are multiple channels on here. I believe there's 6 channels. So you can have multiple microphones using multiple systems, and they won't interfere with each other, or you can tag a couple of microphones to the same receiver and work it that way as well. Also in the box, and these are very well packed, by the way, but also in the box, the usual stuff, the user manual. Is not very difficult to figure out, by the way. Some warranty stuff, little advertising cards, and of course a double-headed USB charger, because they are USB chargeable. I've been running these on my system for about a week. Not steady, but I haven't had any issues with them with the charge. And a bag to carry them in. if that's what you're into. I actually just leave them plugged in until I need to charge them. So for me, that's not an issue, but I'm just using it in the studio. And again, this set is specific to the condenser mic. So why don't we plug this in now that you've heard what it sounds like with my XLR plugged in? We're going to go ahead and plug the wireless units in and see how that sounds. Okay, so now we've got the U3 wireless microphone system plugged in, and if you compare them side by side, I think I'm looking at the waveforms on my screen right now, and they look pretty much identical. There's no interference. They come across really, really clean. And the nice thing is, if I needed to, if I were doing something at another location in the studio, this microphone will travel 75 feet or something along those lines if I needed it to. Obviously, my studio is not that big, but I can move this around and just get it out of my way without having to worry about dragging cables all over the place. So that's what it looks like plugged in. I mean, it adds a little bit of body to the microphone setup, but if you are, working a lot in the studio like I am, I'm doing a lot of podcast stuff. I'm doing a lot of voiceovers. I do some meditation recordings, and of course, I do these things. And to me, this is just a real space saver and a real time saver. And to be honest, I am very seriously considering getting myself another set. So the link to this product is down in the description. I want to give thanks to Xvive for sending this out, and I hope that we're going to see some more stuff from them, because most of what they do is in this wireless technology space, and they do some in-ear monitoring and things like that as well. So there's lots to look forward to from them. And in the meantime, keep in mind that right now, as I'm shooting this video, we are in the midst of the Great Canadian Pedalboard Contest. We're still taking entries, so if the link is in the description, that is still up and running. And of course, you'll see the merch shop is open. I'm wearing one of the fabulous Stringling t-shirts that you can get from the Woods and Strings merch shop. So yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure that you like and subscribe. Consider becoming a member of the channel, as that helps us to work with more of this kind of content. And yeah, we're moving into summer, so I'm hoping to get a lot more demo content up soon. My finger is mostly mobile now, so we're getting pretty close. I did play a gig. It's not perfect, it's not shreddy, but it's getting there. So keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will talk to you again really soon.